capacity building support, lack of resources at very early stage. So how can people working within the social sector space come together to improve access to all these things? And I'm talking to you because you're one of them. Within that space, we have activists, we have community members, we have VCSC sector organization, we have private sector organization, we have public sector organization, including policymakers. How do we get them to think together toward a common solution? Are we there yet? Or
no.
No. What do we do? How do we get there?
Do you want my really honest answer?
Yes, of course. We never done, fake.
It's too hard. I think I would say expend energies elsewhere. The social
That's
sector,
brutal.
it's so difficult. There are so many different agendas pulling people in different directions, and actually with what you're doing, and I mean you're supporting both commercial startups and social enterprises, but with what you're doing, I'm not sure that in many instances, actually, you wouldn't have more success by encouraging the idea about this isn't about charity and this is about enterprise and this is about businesses and this is about us. I don't know what your long-term goal is, but I'm sure you wouldn't be unhappy if a trampoline startup became the next unicorn. That is what gets people excited. And what we do find is that all of the skills and support, or almost all of the skills and support that people need, is people are very keen to share it. And it doesn't matter if it's a commercial or a social startup. People don't really, they're so excited by the idea of being able to share what they've learned with somebody who might not have had the opportunity to go to business school, or they don't open up their networks. If they, it's all about chemistry and connection. If they meet someone and they're really excited by their vision and what they're trying to achieve, I think that is incredibly powerful. And trying to align the social and influence the social sector, you can spend years and years and years, and people do and have in the sector, and you seem to be doing brilliantly. But I don't know. I mean, you might not agree with me. What do you think about that?
My next one is actually kind of a cheeky one. It's not actually a cheeky one. It's it's just from my reality and the reality of the people I've worked with, my service users. Do you think it's reasonable to say that there are still systematic and structural barriers that prevent social entrepreneurs to succeed, and mainly those from minoritized community?
Yes. I'm sorry to say, I think, absolutely. I think that there is still a huge issue in the funding system of you're more likely to get funding if you know people. And sort of by definition, if you are from a more isolated or minoritized community, you're less likely to know people. And the way that funding is offered and the complicated, one of the horrifying things that we hear from the people that we are backing is that post-COVID, a lot of the funders opened up and they went for more unrestricted funding in COVID, and they were much more open. And as things have got more competitive, they've just contracted back in. They are within 2 years. Their application processes are harder. It's more competitive. So many of them are closed for strategy reviews at the moment. And that has just really reinforced a lot of the negative stuff that was going on before. So I am really sad to say there are a lot of people that are trying to change it, but just not enough. It's not fast enough, and it's not.
So are those disparity based on geographical region, background, identity? What is it? How do we?
I think there's, I mean, in the commercial sector, there's still only, what is it, like 5% of the funding or something horrifying goes to female-led organisations, and 2% of the funding goes to people of colour, or like something in VC generally. So there are just still things that inspire more confidence, in inverted commas, than others, and types of, and I think that the funding sector, however much it says it doesn't, it can't help but be influenced by those sort of underlying feelings of, oh, well, if somebody looks like this and has this educational background and this, they're much more likely to succeed as an entrepreneur or a social entrepreneur than they are if they, and the people who are running the VC funds are still very undiverse. And it's,
true.
It's easier to feel comfortable about taking a risk on somebody who you feel a sense of commonality with, and if they went to the same university as you did, and that is still not being fought as much as it should be. But there are lots of initiatives, and there are lots of people that really want to change it, and we are seeing more of them coming to people like us and saying, oh, I've worked in these sorts of industries and I've realized that actually we weren't doing as much as we could, and I'd like to change things, and how can I go at this, and how can I share my skills with an early stage startup to really try and address some of these things. So there were definitely people want to change
openness, but still
the structures,
the structural thing is still there.
A lot of it still hasn't.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen that with my own eyes. I could have a young or middle-aged male, white male, called John Smith, and I would have someone else with, not British sounding name, both with brilliant ideas. One would go put in, an application for a loan, a small loan, get it immediately, no scrutiny, nothing. And the other person, our friend Olu, would go, and then
it would be
just, the level of scrutiny is just, you're thinking, but this is just for 5K. This is just for 10K. Why so many questions? And then at the end of the process, it's a no.
Yeah.
Right? And even something as simple as people being able to open a bank account. Yeah. They just can't do it. And going to that round table about access to funding, we had so many, kind of same type of story we shared. But what kind of surprises me is that leaders in the community sector, people working with minoritized community, we are all aware of that. Yeah. But then when you share those stories in some spaces, people are really surprised.
Yeah. I think
I wonder, where is the disconnect?
I think that people it's very easy to exist in your own ecosystem and not realize what it, and your example there of sitting on this round table with a whole load of leaders from British national British retail banks. Yeah.